Let me ask you this. There's an editorial in the Journal this morning, and it's pushing back on this plan. It's basically saying that it isn't the breakthrough reform that the GOP has been touting. The Journal is admitting that it is a pro-growth business plan, but it says that the bill lacks growth on the individual side. Here's what the editorial board writes this morning. We wish we could say it repeats the Reagan reform of 1986. It isn't close. The Ways and Means draft is marred by a mess on individual taxes that make that part of the code even worse than it is now. And obviously, they're referring to these new, the four brackets, keeping 39.6. What's your reaction to that editorial today in the Journal, Congressman?
So I would say this. Look underneath those rates, because the Reagan reforms really were about lowering that top rate. Our reforms are about clearing out what's underneath it, that alternative minimum tax, all those sort of hidden punishments when you succeed and grow. And even at the top rate, we recognize so much of that revenue now is not from your salary, it's from your investment in that local business or in that corporation, which we create incentives for success and growth at every level. And so my only request would be look underneath those top rates and you'll see something that really encourages and rewards growth.
All right, let me ask you this final question here, Mr. Chairman. I know that Peter King is a no. I know that Lee Zeldin may be a no. These are obviously New York congressmen. They're dealing with the pushback on elimination of the state and local tax deduction. Do you have the votes without them?
You know, my belief is at the end of the day, we will have votes. And by the way, we haven't quit. We haven't given up working with these lawmakers. They have a fair request, which is we want our families to be better off after tax reform than before. That's a fair one. And so we're working with them to make sure that occurs. I think we've really achieved that for the high tax states around the country. But we're going to continue to stay at the table with them. It's important. And
is the Senate going to go along with the idea that you want to repeal the estate tax, or maybe that changes in the Senate bill?
Well, I certainly hope so. Look, it is that's the family-owned farm and the family-owned business. They're the ones who get hammered with that death tax. And by the way, getting rid of it creates 140,000 new jobs in America. I think that's worth doing.
All right, Congressman, we'll be watching. Yesterday, the president said he wants it on his desk by Thanksgiving. You're on that track?
We're going to get it to his desk by the end of the year, and we're on that timetable right now.
Mr. Chairman, it's good to see you, sir. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Maria.
Congressman Kevin Brady joining us there.